Welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. My name is Cozy Gamer, and it is a beautiful day for some DSA. I hope you brought your swim trunks, Cozy Club, because prepare to get soaking wet in the new Oceanic meta. Moana, Maui, Aspell, and Grandma Tala have come to DSA, and it is looking like they are going to make Oceanic the new meta team without question. We just had the tech team come in, and now we have even more staple characters being added on to the Oceanic realm, guys. We're looking at my other team. If you saw my fast pass from the other day, the Oceanic wall was already taking down Kingdom. It was taking down Frozen. And let's see exactly what these characters are going to do to even help this team out some more. And spoiler alert, they're going to absolutely destroy the current meta. When added on with Papa Gantu, when added on with Cobra Bubbles, you put Stitch out there because it looks like he's going to be coming back soon. We'll touch on all this here in just a second. I'm excited, and I hope you are too, because the Oceanics are coming to make a splash to the meta. And I just had to sit down. There was so much to unpack with this video, starting with the Sorcerers Surge event that looks like it's going to ease up the gear crunch in DSA, which is desperately needed. Now, it looks like this is going to be a limited time event, but my goodness, this could not come at a better time. We're getting loads of new characters in DSA, and it's going to be so helpful to be able to get the gear to get them up and leveled to T6, T7, so that you can use them on your meta teams in the Sorcerers Tournament or in the live PvP or Club Conquest. Now, free-to-play players and pay-to-play chubby dolphins can rejoice, because it looks like we are going to be getting an increased drop rate in the campaign for T4, 5, and 6 gear. And then also for the chubby dolphins, you guys can purchase these full pieces of T3, 4, 5, and 6 gear in the premium exchange, which this is going to be so nice, because as of now, you can only get full pieces in the VIP exchange. Now, for those of you that hoarded those campaign chests and those loyalty coins, I've got some good news for you. You can finally dump these out, as they're going to be increasing the rewards both in the campaign chest, in the loyalty coin chest, as well as the 24-hour chest. So that's a nice touch as well. Something free for everyone to enjoy a little bit more gear, and again, to lighten the load on these characters. Currently, it takes so long to get one character from, unlocking them all the way up to T7. So again, hopefully we can start to be able to get more and more characters that we can test out, throw in teams, and use in other game modes. Now, again, this does look like a limited time event, a limited time sale that the Club Exchange and these other stores are going to be having this. So make sure you take advantage of it. Use up your resources, use up your coins, and take advantage of getting as much gear as possible. Don't even use it right away. You can hold on to it if you want to for some of the new characters coming out. And speaking of new characters, Cozy Club, we've got Moana, Maui, and Grandma Tala coming to DSA. Now, looking at some other things that came with this patch, we got some buffs to both Captain Hook and Tinkerbell. Now, I just released the tier list, and it's not going to make Tinkerbell worlds better. She's still going to be kind of on that bottom tier, but at least she's a little bit more usable now with the Oceanic crew, as well as Captain Hook. Now, his is looking a lot more interesting, and I'm excited to test out my Hook myself, because it looks like he's going to be doing a lot more damage to shield enemies, or enemies that are affected by shield, which Hades already has this in his kit. We've talked about this here on the channel before, but this is something I think is desperately needed within DSA. With the rise of shields coming with heroes' crazy abilities to pop them on the enemies. Now, the last bit of news before we dive on into the new Moana gang coming in here is that Stitch Tower looks like it is coming back, and coming back very soon, guys. Oh, I know at first when we saw Stitch Tower there for just such a short amount of time, it was a little discouraging. However, I am glad that it is already back and ready to launch and go again. I know I'm going to be diving in on Stitch, and we should get our hands on at least a 6-star Stitch this time around. And so he should be making his way into the meta more, like we talked about on that tier list video. I imagine that he was going to be in August, rising up those charts. He's got some incredible attack, great speed that only gets faster as he gets hit. Incredible video. If you want to see my complete in-depth guide on him, you can check that out right here. But moving forward to that, let's look at the last bit of the patch notes before we move to Moana. Soon, we will be increasing the level cap and allowing players to obtain certain T7 gears. This is to support a future release that will allow you to obtain gear through other means. What could they mean here? Let's put on our speculation hats and try to guess what this means. It's probably going to mean a new game mode of some sort. So whether it be finally raids, which again, what we're missing from these other games like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or Marvel Strike Force is the raid system. And that is going to be completely game-changing if it came to Disney Sorcerers Arena. It could also be some type of new PvP ladder system that we could get, maybe replacing the old PvP system with gear rewards. Or lastly, it could be something just like the Stitch Tower, maybe something a little bit less so that we don't build up too much hype. But if it is raids or a PvP ladder, my goodness, I cannot wait, guys. To be able to use all these new characters in some type of new game mode is what I'm personally most excited for. Now, don't get me wrong. I love characters dumping into this game, but the moment we have a new game mode that we can use our entire roster, it's gonna be a blast. I can barely contain my excitement. I'm trying not to get too far ahead of myself. But that is what it's looking like it's gonna be. All right, now let's get to the part we've all been waiting for. Maui, Moana, and Grandma Tala's kit and spell coming to the game, guys. If you want to see me test out these characters, be sure to join me tonight on Twitch. You can find my channel in the description below. Of course, we will be testing them out with the T7 Gantu, Bubbles, my Stitch, and we'll put Maui and Moana in there if we're able to get them. Now it's time to look at the kit, and wow, it did not disappoint. With such an amazing franchise of Moana, I was hoping these characters would be incredible, and they were looking insane. Now, first off, we did have Maui in the game for a long time now in DSA, and thankfully, it is not the same kit. Now, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be the same kit to begin with. Looking at it, his leadership just didn't feel up to par, and the whole thing seemed a little lackluster for a brand new character. So, reading this kit, I think it's going to blow some of your minds exactly what Maui is going to bring to a tank and leadership for the Oceanic crew in DSA. Now, starting with his basic attack, he will be doing damage to not only the target enemy, but also adjacent enemies. And on top of that, on his basic, he does extra damage to enemies affected with taunt, which thank God he can start blowing through the Simbas, the Kristoffs, the Gizmos of DSA and hitting more and more damage. So already a basic attack that can hit 3 characters or up to 3 characters is something we haven't really seen before, and wow, already makes him pretty legit. Now, looking at his first special, he's going to be doing damage to a target enemy and stealing their speed turn meter, giving it to a random teammate. And if they are Oceanic, they will on top of that get haste, so they'll be going a little bit faster. Between Bubbles, Gantu, all the Oceanics, there's a lot of haste floating around. Captain Hook is giving it out. The Oceanics are going to be fast, maybe not to begin with right out the gate, but as they get going, haste will be across the board and they should be moving very fast. Anyway, first special looks amazing. Now the second special, almost too good to believe. And let me tell you, it's going to do an AoE and he's going to inflict stun on the primary target. It's going to happen. He'll be stunning the primary target, and there's a chance to stun all other opponents. If that wasn't enough, he's also going to be gaining taunt. Now, we talked about with Gizmo Duck, a tank is as good as the taunt and the things that surround their kit. And Maui, they just keep raising the bar. Maui is going to be taunting while putting out an AoE stun. Now, I can't wait to see it in action. You put tactics on this, and it's going to be even more stuns going out there. I think the Oceanics are going to be around for a while, and they only get better with Stitch and company rising up the star levels as we get more and more access to the Stitch Tower. Oh, well, I missed something on the second ability also. If they don't get stunned, they will be getting offense down instead. So it's like Anna combined with Elsa. Goodness gracious, he's going to be crazy. That ability alone could make him A+ tier and above, no question about it. He is going to be a solid character. Now, looking at his passive, it's something that we already had in the game with him already. Once he gets past a certain health threshold, he'll be gaining invincibility. Now, on top of that, he'll be assisting his Oceanic teammates, and if he assists, he'll be gaining health. I'm just excited to see this team in full effect. It's sounding mind-blowing, and I'm a little excited because you guys know how much I love my Oceanic characters. I loved water Pokemon when Pokemon was a huge thing. I was always picking Squirtle, and now we've got a water dominant meta, it looks like, in DSA. And again, I'm from San Diego. I'm a surfer, so of course I'm excited for an Oceanic meta. Now, we're not done yet. We have one more thing to look at, and that is finally the rightful leader for the Oceanic crew, my friends, and that is going to be in his leadership ability that is going to be stacking even more with the already hero shields that we have pumping out to the Oceanic team. To begin the battle, he'll be granting himself and his teammates shields, and something interesting that I like is first with Stitch, he's going to be countering Gantu, right? When people gain charges like Gantu does, Stitch attacks and kind of keeps him in check. So he's countering kind of the Oceanic meta within himself. But also, Captain Hook has now a added damage to shields on enemy teams. So it's funny, I find it interesting that the Oceanic teams are able to take on themselves a little bit easier with Captain Hook and Stitch. I don't know if that was intended or not, but I do think it's fun to have a team that can take on itself or specialized a bit in those mirror matches. My goodness, if Maui's kit wasn't good enough, let's look at Moana's, and I'm sure it's not going to disappoint you guys because it is an excellent kit. Let's start with the basic ability. She's going to just be doing some damage to a target opponent, and if they have slow, she'll be doing additional damage. So it looks like as a whole, there's a lot of slow synergy and a lot of defense down synergy within the Oceanic realm. Looking like Gantu putting out slows, Ariel can chain off slows, and now Moana will be doing extra attacks when there's slows on the enemy. Now her first special is a lot like Judy Hopps. I don't know if you've played her recently, but Judy just seems like she keeps chaining and jumping to the next opponent, and Moana will be chaining to enemies as well. It should be a high damaging special, and I'm sure it's going to wreak havoc on your enemy teams. Now, looking at her second special, we have another AoE, guys. With Gantu's AoE, now you have Maui's mass stun AoE, and Moana will also get an AoE. She's going to be doing and dealing damage to all the targets, and the lower their health is, the more damage she'll be doing. She gets bonus damage per Oceanic teammate, and on top of that, upon enemy defeat, she'll be gaining an extra turn. This is going to work beautifully with Gantu's kit, as Gantu likes to get a lot of AoE damage out there and get people's health thresholds very low. Now, her abilities are crazy, but just wait till we take a look at these passives, Cozy Club, because they're flat out nuts. This character cannot be dealt damage from a critical strike while affected by shield. So while she has shield and while Maui gives shield at turn start, she cannot be hit by critical hit. Now, if she does get hit with a critical hit when she doesn't have shield, she is going to be gaining a shield from a percentage of her maximum health. I love where these kits are going. The creativity is great. And again, I'm not salty, no pun intended. I am not sea salty about this, mainly because I'm big on the Oceanic characters. Let me know down in the comments below, are you excited that Oceanic is going to be rising up the tides and creating a splash to the meta? I am myself. Sorry for all the cheesy puns. I think they're fun. Let's look at the second passive, my friends. On turn start, this is where things get very crazy. Apply taunt to the opponents with the lowest current health. So kind of like Lotso, ignoring stealth. If Maui is a teammate, he will immediately assist. Keep in mind, he'll probably be assisting with his adjacent hitting attacks. Call one additional teammate to assist. And when Maui gains taunt, fill this character's speed turn meter. Let's break this down for a second. She's got Lotso's ability built in where she's going to be forcing taunts on the character. Outside of that, she'll be calling Maui to assist. And then if Maui wasn't good enough, wait, let's just build this in to make the duo crazy. Already on paper, this is the duo to deal with. You have Gizmo Duck and you've got Darkwing Duck. You've got Ian and Barley. This is the duo that is looking insanity. Okay, so each time Maui gains taunt with that huge overall stun, offense down, crazy ability, Moana is going to be gaining full turn meter. It's amazing. I can't wait to see this more in action, and I'm excited to be testing this on stream tonight. All right, so I have seen that people say that I get hyped up for these new characters, but how can I not when you look at these two kits? Also combine them with the already incredible Oceanics, and again, it looks like we're in for a wild ride. And we have one bit more of content in the Moana package that is coming, and I know it's something we've all been waiting for, something that everyone has asked for. We must have Grandma Tala. Grandma Tala is going to be a spell within DSA. At first, I thought she might have been a character, which I thought was going to be completely insane, but also hey, anything's possible. We've seen Lasso and Chunk, so what else is Grandma Tala in this game? She's going to be a spell that specializes in tower and with Oceanic teammates, and she's going to be buffing up Moana even more. Now, she's going to be a healing spell, which is a breath of fresh air, a new support spell. A new spell in general is huge for this game, but a new support spell should be very nice to add on to your spell collection. And she'll be making Moana even better by giving and cleansing all of her helpful effects, and she will gain harmful immunity for some turns, guys. That's going to be super helpful. So she's going to be making Moana even better as a teammate, because she'll be cleansing all harmful effects on Moana and giving her harmful immunity. On top of that, it looks like Grandma Tala is going to be a support spell by healing characters more and more with Oceanic characters that come out. And on top of that, she'll be healing the lowest health allied in Tower. So if you're still struggling on Tower 3, 4, or 5, I am sure this is going to be a big help. After all these Oceanic characters, I don't know how you're struggling with Tower 3 still. Be sure to get them and blaze through that tower. Get yourself Peter Pan's Shadow, because these Oceanics should cripple that tower. Shout out to all the OGs that did Tower 3 before these killer Oceanics came, but I'm excited that there's more to help out both this faction and that tower. And Cozy Club, that's gonna do it. We've got gear changes coming in, the Stitch Tower coming back, a Sorcerer trial that we don't know what it is, but it'll be making its way around the corner. We can assume it's probably going to be the speed trial, which would probably require Oceanic characters. We've got plenty of them to choose from now, so start working on these Oceanic characters, not only for your meta team, but also for getting those precious speed stones, my friends. And we've got a new pass holder coming out, which is great for mainly the beta ruins, and you can also get shards to help your journey in getting these characters a little bit faster. And then something I personally cannot wait to rep, and that'll be a Hey Hey emote. Now, I wish they had a Hey Hey talisman. I'm gonna be honest, I would rep a Hey Hey talisman all day long, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so that's gonna do it for the large amount of content we had dropped today. Again, we will be testing these characters all weekend long and throughout next week. Again, I plan on using the Oceanic team as my future team moving forward. I said that even a couple weeks ago when we had Gantu and Bubbles. They were fun enough for me. Now I even have more of a reason to be rocking the Moana crew, guys. All right, I want to thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out at the Cozy Club, checking out the new crazy Oceanics coming. We had a large amount of news drop in a DSA today, so we will be covering these on videos all weekend long. If you want to see this team tested out, you can check me out on my Twitch channel. I'll be streaming today. I'll be streaming tomorrow for the 5,000 subscriber celebration stream, which I'll be doing a giveaway for some merch, some in-game gems, and more. And of course, we will be dropping more and more content next week, my friends. Let me know your opinions on the new characters, on the new spell, and on the new changes. And until next time, stay cozy, my friends.